Hello and welcome to another update video on FET. Yeah, completely insane movement on the FET chart today. 87% in the last 24 hours and 63% up this week. So that tells us that basically, or in the last 7 days, that basically tells us everything happened today, right? Everything happened today. Which is kind of crazy. Feels good to see some of the old and dusty coins start to move up. But obviously that's not enough to really talk about the season that must not be named, as someone said earlier today in our community chat. So it's too early for that. But we see momentum, which is good to see. So let's take a look at the larger time frame for FET. And I mean, could this move have been predicted? I mean, okay, can't really predict the strength of a move necessarily, but I think you know that we talked in previous videos about the idea that a B wave might have formed on the 10th of October. I mean, this is the wave count essentially, pointing towards a C wave rally. I mean, you can't really do more than that. But what I did is I let's say promoted caution, right? I was and still am extremely cautious. I don't trust this move, but I'm still tracking for a bullish scenario because, there is no real impulse to the downside. But obviously this is far away from anything reliable. In reality, those moves are really hard and difficult to catch. Just made a member video about Filecoin as well, which is similar, performed similar. But I have to say, like, the Filecoin chart started to move from an all-time low, whereas the FET chart here started to move from our Fibonacci support zone, which we defined for a B wave pullback. This move to the upside looks impulsive on a local level, but we need to see if the bulls can really drive the price significantly higher and if the bulls can generate a 5-wave move up. That's important. So I will show you what we actually need to see to be more positive about this move. What I can tell you is we didn't only hold the larger degree support here, but FET held also our smaller degree support area that we've been tracking in the last 4 weeks since the 10th of October low. So things are starting to look quite interesting. Now, if we track the move higher in this C wave, then it's important to understand that it would likely be a 5-wave move up. So, I mean, what I need to see really is 5 waves up in circle wave 1. Then we can add support for wave 2. Then the third wave should be the aggressive move, 4, 5. So this is in theory how it should unfold. Whether that's the white count C wave or the orange count C wave in wave Y doesn't really matter so much in the short term. It is just important that, we get a move like this soon, yeah. And it's important that we get all the 5 waves in circle wave 1 completed, because these 5 waves tell us that the trend is up. Now, of course, we don't have to wait for 5 waves before entering a trade. Normally we say in support areas can be a good time to watch for reverses. The price entered support, reversed out of it. And I'm not talking about the larger support area. I'm talking about the smaller support area. But please note that a 5-wave move up is needed first for structural confirmation. What also will help would be a break above the 50-cent level, which is it's just a level that we talked about in previous videos, a first breakout and signal level. Now let's take a look at the shorter time frame for FET. If I stretch this here a little bit, go higher, then you can see that the market might be forming 5 waves up from this swing low here on the 4th of November. So again, I just said, I can't really predict the strength of a move necessarily, but we did track it as A wave up, B wave down. And the idea was that ideally this B wave shouldn't break below 15.6 cents. In fact, there was a reaction to the 61.8 retracement, but a very fast move. So what can we say about it? I can say that I don't fully trust it because the move to the downside doesn't really look complete, but it landed in our support area. This pullback is certainly deep enough to be all of the B wave in the in one of our scenarios. It, of course, could have bottomed. But I was watching for another low in this zone. But that's why I always say it makes sense to watch the zone, not the labels. You trade the zones, not the labels. However, this could still be a B wave. What really needs to happen now is we want to see 5 waves up. I can only identify 3. It's possible this third wave has now topped. We're now in a 4th wave pullback. But I don't trust the move. It's, fragile. Yes, it comes from a support zone, absolutely. But I want to see 5 waves next, because this could still be a B wave rally. A, B, C, even with one more high. I need to see 5 waves up, and I need to hold a higher low, a 1-2 setup. Then break above 50 cents, and then I think we might really be on our way to new highs. At least probabilities will increase then. I've been saying for months that the market can move freely pretty much in this zone here. Only a break above 50 cents would be a decent signal that a low is in, because that will take us above the swing high from the 10th of October when this selling pressure started to kick in. So that's the update on FET. That should give you all the parameters. And by the way, one more high would be ideal, and the 31 cent level there, 31.4 cents, is support, short-term support. So if this indeed is now an internal pullback and we get another high, we should ideally hold the 31.4 cent level. That's the update on FET. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. And if you're just starting out with crypto, or you want to set up your trading more professionally, we have a partnership with Bybit. They are one of the largest and most established exchanges worldwide. It's the same platform I use myself, and we use also for tutorials here at MCO. So you'll get reduced trading fees for the first 30 days, plus an exclusive campaign that's running for active traders at the moment. The link to the playlist is right here on the screen, to our tutorial playlist. And the Bybit link is pinned in the comments. Joining through it helps us build this community further, keep this project running for the whole community, and allows us to give you a lot of updates every single day here on YouTube. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.